What's up, YouTube? We are back for part 2 of the Nova exact same engine swap.
Yeah, so today we got some parts off of the old engine that Patrick's standing in front of. We got to pull the crank pulley off, and then we're not going to use the flywheel off the back, but we got to get that off the stand and mount the flywheel, the new flywheel. That one had chips in it. We got to mount the new flywheel on the back of that.
And we are using the same flywheel, we're not changing that up.
Yeah, the biggest thing that you'll want to do is, and the owner of this had done some research to make sure that the right flywheel was the replacement. So you want to set the two over each other. We'll probably shoot a video of hopefully and insert that over that, but we'll lay the new flywheel over the old flywheel and just show you how you want to make sure that it's the exact same flywheel, because you want to, you're really essentially joining it up with the transmission the way it was, and you want to make sure that you're using the proper flywheel for that.
Dad, we got our laptop ready, so we got our torque specs.
So we'll get them.
We're gonna find those.
We know the torque specs for the flywheel. I just gotta find the torque specs for the crank pulley, but yeah, we'll get there.
Take our time, do it right. Should go together the way it came out, hopefully.
Hopefully. All right, we'll get at it.
Update here. We had 2 of the correct bolt, 1 odd bolt.
And there was a consensus on, do we use the odd bolt?
Why not? It was just an odd bolt. We had no idea what it went to. So we used it, and it did not hold up to the torque spec.
The strain was too much for it to bear.
Didn't make it. So now we have a stuck bolt that we're going to have to get off, and we're going to also have to get the correct bolt. So now we're running to the hardware store, the auto parts store, get our tool, get our bolt, and practice social distancing.
Could you get in back, please?
Alright, back from our shopping adventure. We are going to practice pulling the harmonic balancer off of the old engine with this fancy new toolkit we got. And we got the right bolts. Side note to that, we probably over-torqued that other one because neither of us know what diameter means. But we figured that out, and we're gonna go from there. Alright, so our original practice pulling that, we're not going to talk about. We have no idea what we're doing there. But we did successfully extract the broken bolt. And like we said earlier, we don't know how to do the diameter. Well, the torque spec is significantly different.
We won't say what it is, but it's significantly different.
It's about 3 times higher. But we're...
Try this 3 times higher. Yes. All right, and what we're doing here is we're putting some Brett Loctite on there. Some aeronautical super stuff that the car owner said that he got, and we're going to use that stuff to. No, that one for torque specs, you can't feel it very well, the click. So.
Okay.
There we go. 1, 2.
What kind of ogreish shit do you do with this that you can't feel a click?
There, 3.
7. The very distinct double click.
Very distinct double click.
What is the next step after that simple pulley that has taken us half the day now?
The next step is we're gonna grab the hoist leveler. We're gonna mount that onto the top of this here. This plate is actually specifically for lifting the engine, but it's not going to be balanced the way we like it. So we're actually gonna grab it from the leveler, and that way we can do micro adjustments with the lift, the hoist, and the leveler.
Look at all that room.
God.
Look at it.
It's just criminal how much room it is. So we'll want to make sure that you hold it in a way that steers clear of that, the crank towards the front. This engine's sure pretty. Oh. These are not the right size bolts. It's the right size bolt on the front, but it's not the right size bolt on the back. Can you make this up? I don't think you can make this up. Jesus.
You know what the right bolt was? The one we broke. The one we broke was the right bolt.
They must have tapped in bigger.
You know, we shouldn't mount it like this.
Why?
I'm gonna have a chain that's gonna sit. And then when we put pressure up, it's gonna push.
Yep. We're gonna have to just lift it from the lift plate.
Yep. Change plan. Okay, we're recording. We're gonna go ahead and skip ahead a whole bunch of great commentary we had and wonderful
Banter?
yeah, because I fucked up. So now we're live again.
We were actually part of that other conversation that got skipped. Already talking about how Patrick had fucked up, so.
Now the edits, we're gonna just remove that. So luckily I didn't record anything. But where we're at, a lot of overkill on this chain here.
Yeah, this is an expensive engine, so we got lots of chains holding this thing up. And we didn't want to have a issue, so.
So I'm sure you other car guys out there, you guys are stupid, but whatever, fuck you. And other than that, we got the flywheel on. We got that bolt that had some iffy thread problems because of another Pat fuck up.
That was what we were talking about.
We got that on there just fine.
So what we're doing right now is we got the engine standoff. We wanted to get this close to the front of the car as possible. We have the lift jacks underneath, so what we're planning to do is get this into the bay, and then I'm gonna jack up the tranny a little bit.
Jacking a tranny.
Because trannies like to be jacked. I'm gonna jack it up right on the pan.
You know, some trannies like to do the jacking.
There's just not a good place to jack on this thing.
Well, they usually have a couple options.
I know. How could this do this to us? Whew. Alright.
I'll give you guys a better angle here. Oh, there's nowhere to jack on that.
And I'm not jacking on the pan, because then I'd be just as bad as the
guys who bent that one. We'll get a close up.
I feel like if I had a 2x4 just to stick on there.
Bring in some wood. I suppose because it's not like we need a lot on that.
I need it to be thinner though, because this is.
Oh, yep.
This is gonna. Go see what I got.
So you can see what we were doing underneath with the tranny. We got the jack kind of woven through the fucking engine thingy. Alright, so we got the engine this far. We've had fucking more technical difficulties. Stupid phone storage was full. So we lost that whole process, but where we're at now, we're gonna work on lining up the transmission, which zero light underneath, so
I just need you to jack it up a little bit. Fall into the pin. Keep going. There we go.
we've got
Those weren't those are header bolts. Those were them, weren't they?
what are they? 'Cause how many bolts did we have?
2, 4. It's not these ones. It's these ones.
All these?
So there's 3 at the top, 2 on the side, so 7.
We have 7 that don't have
no,
washers.
Those ones are for the manifold.
Are we still recording since this one sucks?
There's the camera hitting it.
Right behind us.
Yep.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy! Should I just drop the transmission now?
I think so. Noise.
Did you say nice?
It's a noise.
Safety first. I stink.
Like your armpits stink, or you just shit yourself stink?
No, my armpits stink.
You only make something for that, right? It's called deodorant.
We're in quarantine. Everybody's gonna suffer. God, I want to take that distributor out. If we can get those last bolts in without taking that distributor out.
How hard can it be? So you know those bolts suck. You can't even get them on camera. Totally blind. Alright, well, so all in all, this went really great.
Yeah, it's in.
It's in. However, we didn't get good video of it going in because technical difficulties on my part.
But literally very smooth. So if you recall, we had the load balancer on the hoist, and then we also had a jack underneath the transmission, and then we have the lift jacks here, which we were able to do a little bit of a micro adjustment early on with that, and then using the hoist itself to do small little movements. So literally as we were tipping it in, there's little guide pins on the transmission. We were able to line everything up and get the motor mounts in, and like...
The only fight we had was the motor mounts, really, because as everything with jacks, you get some different angles going on, and we were kind of, we were in level, but we were a little cockeyed, so we fought it there, but...
Yeah, but literally micro adjustments. We were able to make adjustments, I would say, a centimeter at a time with that setup.
Yep.
And it worked out perfect. So
there's minimal swearing. I don't think we busted our knuckles at all. And
yeah, so the distributor, Patrick will walk you through a little bit of...
This is where things got dicey. We've got a bigger distributor on this motor, And
then this monster. This wasn't, I swear, hooked up before.
yeah, you maybe check the other video. If we show it, I guess we're dumb. But this dipstick, which needs to be secured, otherwise it leaks on the bottom side, also sits perfectly in front of the bolt spot because that's what secures it. That's the only thing
that secures it.
And I mean, you can see my hand. You literally have to work your way through this shit to get to that bolt. And there's one over here.
The bottom ones are super easy to get to. We took the headers off, so the headers we're rewrapping. We're gonna heat wrap those.
Oh well, we're not rewrapping.
Yeah, someone else is. We'll put a link to their video down below, and that eventually, when that gets done, it's got to get done though. But they kind of look like a mummy on this side. They were coming apart, and the heat wrap was just draping everywhere. But I'm glad we actually took the headers off because it gave us a lot more. Yeah, it gave us a lot more access to everything on the side, and again, we didn't have to worry about.
Going in was a lot easier than coming out because if you guys remember, coming out we busted some spark plugs.
Yep.
And this one we did not. We left everything intact.
Yeah.
But the only way we could get an angle at those screws, I've been standing
in
here, and you've been curled up on the ground.
Oh yeah, yeah. I had to hold the back of the wrench while you were turning it, so we could keep pressure on it, and you were doing click, 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 click. So it was awful.
Next video game plan, we're gonna try to clean up some of this. We'd like to.
We know that this goes away because this has the ignition system in it, at least is the way we understand it. So we got to figure out how to wire the ignition into the engine and get it turned. But everything else, grounds and everything, are going to be pretty much plug and play. So we should be able to be in pretty short order, be able to get everything hooked back up and ready to go back on this thing.
So yeah, next time we're going to finish getting on all of our accessory pieces and cleaning up some wiring. You know, that's not necessarily part of this job, but neither of us can live with not clean wiring.
Yeah, it's got to be.
So.
Yep. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's a wrap for the day. We got it in. Just clean up, get those headers.
We'll be good to go.
Yeah.
So we'll be back at you. Maybe this will be part 2, and then it'll probably be part 3.
Yeah, hopefully part 3 we fire it up, maybe.
The ignition, I think, is going to be the challenge, but I like the thought that
there's probably going to be a part 3 that is basically wrapped up, and then we'll have a 3.5 where you get to hear it.
But literally, from the video that was shown in the first one, this hasn't been touched.
No.
We just gotta put the carburetor on. It's tune time. It's ready to go. So literally, we should be able to hook up the gas, and it should fire up and do what it's gonna do, full 600 horsepower without needing any adjustments. So
Which is gonna be badass.
Yep.
So subscribe, like, do all that stuff, and if you're a car guy and you can tell us a better way to get those 2 bolts, throw it in the comments, please, for the love of God.
Love to hear it.
Otherwise, catch us next time.
All right. Thanks.